Have you ever wondered why so many people don't make it far past the age of 80? Even though modern medicine has advanced beyond our imagination? Why is it that some elderly people, despite looking healthy, suddenly fall into a spiral of decline, while others remain sharp, energized, and full of life even into their late 90s? This video will reveal 7 powerful, often ignored reasons why most older people struggle to live long past 80. And trust me, the final reason might just shock you. It's something most people never talk about, but it could be the hidden key to unlocking a longer, more meaningful life. Before we dive into this deeply eye-opening journey, take a second to subscribe to our channel, Faith Wisdom. If you're someone who values deep life lessons, clarity of mind, emotional strength, and timeless wisdom, this channel is for you. We create life-changing content that helps you live not just longer, but better. Now let's uncover the truth behind why many people can't live long after 80. And remember, stay with us till the very end, because the last reason is the most important one. Reason 1. Emotional isolation is a silent killer. One of the most underestimated forces that chips away at life after 80 is emotional isolation. It doesn't matter how many vitamins you take or how closely you watch your blood pressure. If your heart is lonely, your body will feel it. Here's the truth. The human soul was never designed to thrive alone. Yet, as people age, something painful happens. Friends begin to pass away. Children grow up, move to different cities or countries, and build lives of their own. The once busy household becomes quiet, and silence becomes a daily companion. Studies show that loneliness can be as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It increases the risk of dementia, weakens the immune system, and doubles the risk of heart disease. But it's not just about health risks. It's about the will to live. Think about it. What keeps a person alive isn't just organs functioning. It's meaning, connection, and the feeling that you matter. When older people lose these emotional bonds, they often lose their desire to fight for life. Their mornings feel empty. Their days drag. Their nights are longer and colder. Eventually, the body follows the spirit and begins to fade. If we want our elders and ourselves to thrive beyond 80, we must rebuild the bridges of connection. We must bring back the laughter, the storytelling, the shared meals, the touches, and the love. Human contact is not a luxury. It's a lifeline. Reason 2. They stop having a purpose. There's the dangerous myth that retirement means rest. But in truth, purpose, not rest, is what keeps the human soul alive. Many older people, once they hit 70 or retire, begin to feel like they've completed their mission. They feel replaced by younger generations, ignored by society, and sometimes even seen as burdens rather than blessings. When purpose dies, the spirit begins to weaken, and that affects everything else. Purpose gives people a reason to wake up, a reason to push through pain, a reason to eat, to move, to smile. It's not about having a job or making money. It's about feeling useful. It's about being needed. An 83-year-old woman who volunteers to teach children how to read lives longer and healthier than a 70-year-old man who sits on the couch all day watching television. Why? Because her soul is engaged. Her purpose becomes her oxygen. The tragedy is that society often removes purpose from older people. We don't ask them for wisdom. We stop listening to their advice. We make them feel invisible. But purpose doesn't retire. It transforms. Even something as simple as mentoring, sharing stories, helping a neighbor, or writing down life lessons can light a spark in the heart of someone who felt forgotten. And that spark can mean the difference between fading away and flourishing. Reason 3. They stop moving. Their body movement is life. When the body stops moving, the body starts dying. It's that simple. But unfortunately, many people begin to drastically reduce their physical activity as they age, believing that rest is safer. But the truth is, inactivity after 80 is one of the biggest reasons people deteriorate so quickly. Muscles weaken, bones become brittle, balance is lost, and worst of all, the heart, your most important muscle, loses strength. Every part of your body relies on circulation, and without regular movement, your blood becomes stagnant, your brain becomes foggy, and your organs start to slow down. But here's something even more dangerous. When people stop moving, they start seeing themselves as weak. It's not just the physical consequences, it's the identity that forms. I'm too old for this. I can't walk far anymore. I better not try. I might fall. These beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies. The body believes what the mind repeats, and slowly, they shrink their world. First, the neighborhood walk disappears, then the trip to the grocery store, then the stairs, then the living room. Before you know it, they're confined to a chair, and then a bed. But it doesn't have to be this way. Countless people remain physically active well into their 90s, not because they're lucky, but because they move every single day. Whether it's walking, stretching, dancing, gardening, or swimming, movement is the miracle drug that most people ignore. And you don't need to run marathons. You just need to move. Daily, purposefully, joyfully. Reason 4. Nutritional neglect. By the time most people reach 80, their diet becomes a reflection of habit and convenience rather than nourishment. But what many don't realize is that the aging body needs even more nutritional support than a younger one. Not less. Think of your body like a house. When it's brand new, a few scratches or broken parts don't matter. But when the house is older, every crack matters more. The same goes for the body. Every cell repair, every immune response, every heartbeat. It all depends on what fuel you're giving it. And yet, many older people fall into one of two dangerous traps. 1. They eat too little because they've lost their appetite or believe they don't need much. 2. They eat poorly because it's easier to open a can, microwave a meal, or snack on sugar-filled foods. Both lead to disaster. Malnutrition in the elderly is an epidemic we don't talk about. Lack of protein causes muscles to waste. Vitamin deficiencies lead to confusion, weakness, depression, and even falls. And too much sugar? That fast-tracks inflammation, diabetes, fatigue, and organ failure. But here's the truth. Food is medicine. Real, whole, nourishing food can restore energy, sharpen the mind, and protect the body. Even small changes, like adding leafy greens, berries, nuts, beans, olive oil, and clean proteins, can make a powerful difference. Food isn't just about survival. It's about vitality. It's about telling your body, I care about you. I want you to keep going. I want to feel alive. Reason 5. The decline of mental stimulation. Imagine a brilliant, glowing candle left untouched in the dark. Without a spark, the wax solidifies, the wick dries up, and eventually, it becomes nothing more than a forgotten object. That's what happens to the human mind when it's no longer stimulated. The sad truth is that many older people stop challenging their brains after a certain age. After retirement, after their children leave home, after the social roles fade, many fall into mental silence where the mind is no longer being fed, tested, or stretched. And slowly, almost invisibly, the brain begins to shrink, just like a muscle that is never used. But here's what most people don't understand. The brain craves novelty. It craves challenge. It craves learning, regardless of age. Neuroscientists have proven something profound. The human brain retains plasticity well into old age. That means it can change, grow, and form new connections, even in your 90s. But only if you give it a reason to. Think of the people you've seen in their late 80s or 90s who still seem sharp, witty, and full of stories. They didn't get there by chance. They kept feeding their minds. Whether it was through reading books, playing strategy games, learning a new skill, writing memoirs, learning a new language, or even solving puzzles. They refused to let their brain rest in decay. But on the other side, look at those who do nothing but stare at television for hours, watch meaningless noise, and scroll without thought. They may be awake, but their mind is asleep. And over time, that leads to memory loss, disorientation, confusion, and dementia. This isn't just about memory, it's about identity. When older people stop using their minds, they stop seeing themselves as curious, creative, and alive. They become ghosts of who they once were, not because they aged, but because they stopped exploring. Mental stimulation is not entertainment, it's survival. And it's a reminder that as long as you are alive, you are still a student of life. Reason 6, they live in fear instead of gratitude. If there's one invisible poison that tightens its grip on people after they turn 80, it's fear. Specifically, the fear of death, illness, and becoming a burden. This fear often settles silently, but its consequences are loud and deadly. Fear is a thief. It steals peace. It robs rest. It eats away at joy like termites gnawing through wood. And sadly, most people over 80 live with a constant soundtrack in their head that says, "What if I fall today? What if I get sick and no one notices? What if they put me in a nursing home? What if I forget my own name?" And the worst fear of all, what if I've already lived my best days and what's left is just waiting for death? When the mind is consumed by fear, the body responds with stress. Hormones like cortisol flood the bloodstream, weakening the immune system, increasing blood pressure, and accelerating aging. That fear becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But there is an antidote, one that doesn't cost money, one that doesn't require medicine, and that antidote is gratitude. Gratitude shifts the soul. It breaks the spell of fear and rewires the brain to see beauty instead of danger. Instead of focusing on what's dying, you start focusing on what's still alive. Imagine an 84-year-old man who wakes up and says, "Thank you, God, that I can still see the sky." Or a woman in her 80s who whispers, "Thank you for the hands that still hold my grandchildren." These moments of sacred thankfulness aren't small. They are healing. People who live in gratitude tend to live longer, sleep better, have stronger immune systems, and even recover faster from illness. Why? Because their soul is resting, not in fear, but in faith. And that's where the name of your channel, Faith Wisdom, comes full circle. Faith, rooted in wisdom, allows people to embrace each day not with trembling, but with trust. Trust that life, even in its final chapters, still has something beautiful to offer. Reason 7. They surrender their will to live. The most important reason. This final reason is not just important, it is life-altering. Because once a person surrenders their will to live, no medicine, no exercise, no diet, no miracle can save them. You see, the will to live is not some vague philosophical concept. It's a fire, a flame that fuels your body, your choices, your breath. And once that flame begins to fade, life begins to slip through the cracks, quietly, slowly, and then all at once. Most people don't die from diseases after 80. They die from the absence of will. They've seen too much loss. They've felt too much pain. They look in the mirror and see a stranger. They start to believe the lie that their story is over, that they've already written their best chapters, that all they can do now is wait. But here's the truth. The story is not over until the last word is written. And those who live past 80 with strength in their hearts, light in their eyes, and fire in their souls are the ones who refuse to surrender their will. They still have dreams. They still want to create, to love, to laugh, to grow. They make plans. They show up. They still chase the sunrise. It is will that turns an 85-year-old into a poet, a mentor, a painter, a healer, a teacher, or a loving grandparent who changes lives simply by being present. Will is powerful. It can keep your heart beating when the odds are against you. It can defy statistics. It can baffle doctors. It can heal what medicine cannot touch. If you're watching this video and you're young, take this to heart. Protect your will to live. Nourish it, feed it, celebrate it. And when you grow old, cling to it with all your might, because your will to live is your most sacred gift. When you guard it, you guard your life. Conclusion, call to action. These 7 reasons are not just warnings. They are wake-up calls. They are lessons written in the lives of those who have come before us. And they hold one powerful message. If we want to live long, we must live fully. Not just after 80, but every single day. So, what kind of life do you want to live? Will you let time wither your spirit? Or will you nourish it with purpose, love, movement, wisdom, and unshakable will? If this video touched your heart, stirred your mind, or awakened something deep inside you, then share it with someone you love. Let it be a seed of life. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Faith Wisdom. Here, we don't just talk about life. We honor it, we learn from it, and we grow stronger through it. Your journey matters, and we are here to walk it with you.